Hello. Today we're going to talk about our passions and what we're good at doing. We will focus on acupuncture, her passion, and Reiki, my passion. And first of all, let's talk about passion and what it means. I ended up writing a definition down for this one. Finding your passion means identifying the specific activities, subjects, or causes that deeply energize you, align with your core values, and bring a sense of meaning to your life. One of my biggest passions is Reiki, and one of Jen's biggest passions is acupuncture. And so our first question today for Jen is, do you remember the first time you heard about acupuncture?
I do. I would imagine I heard about acupuncture just knowing. I know that when I first heard about acupuncture, I knew what it was. So at some point in my life before this time I'm about to talk about, I knew what acupuncture was, but I had never really heard of it or knew much about anything of it other than it involved needles. But I suffered from urinary tract infections as a youngster from my early teens to my late teens. And I would, it seemed like they got worse and worse and worse with each time. And would go to the doctor and I would be put on antibiotics, and then that infection would go away, and then it would come back. And so then there I would be again, seeing a doctor and going back on antibiotics. Well, there came a point when I believe I was 19 or 20 years old, and I came down with another urinary tract infection. And we went to the doctor, and he wanted to put me on antibiotics for a whole year. And I just said, absolutely not. There was no way I was ever going to, antibiotics had already wrecked my body in so many ways. I just wasn't going to do it for a whole year. So it just so happened, as synchronicity does, that a couple of days later, my dad was reading an article in the News and Review about acupuncture. And it was a woman here in town who was speaking about acupuncture, what it was, and how she got into it. And oddly enough, by coincidence, she got into it for urinary tract infections as well. And so that led her to an acupuncturist, which then led her to changing her entire career goals towards acupuncture, because it just changed her life. And that's what she did for me. She absolutely changed my life. And so I heard about acupuncture because my dad read about it in an article. He came to me and he said, I think this might be able to help you. Why don't you go talk to this lady? And so I did. I went and talked to her, and she absolutely changed my life. And
she helped you?
And helped me. I've had 2 urinary tract infections in my life since that time, in 25, 30 years.
Wow. It's amazing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it came and hit me real powerfully. I didn't know at that time that that's something that I wanted to do. It wasn't for a couple of years after that where it kind of circled back around in my life. And as I was looking at what I would do, kind of beyond massage therapy. And so somebody mentioned, why not Chinese medicine? And I thought, absolutely, it changed my life. Why not do that? So I went to school for that.
Wow, that's beautiful. Yeah, that's amazing. That I like that it was your dad that came to you and said, hey, why don't you try this? Because was he familiar with acupuncture
Not at all.
Okay.
No,
yeah.
Again, maybe just knowing what it was.
Yeah.
But really it was that and maybe had that acupuncture talked about something different that day, maybe he wouldn't have said anything to me. But because it was very specifically relating to something that I was suffering from at that time, he keyed in on it and brought it right to me, and it changed my world.
Right. And a lot of
many
times,
ways.
And a lot of times it seems like someone gets sick with something, and then they go find, different medicines, different healing modalities, and then there's something that ends up helping them heal, and then that person might follow that path of doing that same thing
As a practitioner?
Yeah, as a practitioner. Yeah.
Is that how you found Reiki? How did you find Reiki?
So Reiki, kind of similar. I didn't have a physical ailment. So this was back in 2011. And this is when I was starting to just seek a lot of different healing modality stuff. And one of my friends said, hey, they're having this free thing at somewhere here in Chico. I don't remember the name, but they were having there was like free like 10-minute Reiki sessions, and a psychic was doing like a 10-minute reading free. So we decided, oh, why not? Let's just go check it out, right? And so I did the reading with the psychic, which I was like, eh. Not that I don't believe in psychics, but just that one. Maybe
it wasn't
not.
your experience.
Maybe not that one. But then I had the Reiki session, like 10 minutes, and it felt so peaceful. And I had my eyes closed too, and I just, like, from that, just that experience of feeling such peace. Because with Reiki, you have the option of it's energy healing, and you have the option, the practitioner has the option of just not putting their hands on the person, but close, like a couple inches away, and just going to different parts of the body. And so this practitioner, that's what she did. And I remember there was a point where I felt like someone's hand was on one of my shoulders. I think I might have had like this little vision of seeing like angels or something really beautiful too in those 10 minutes. And but I think what really stands out was just that feeling of peace, like a deep feeling of peace. And so after that, I ended up scheduling a full hour with this practitioner. And then that full hour is where I cried so much. There was so much healing that happened. I cried so much, a lot of childhood wounds, healing around that. And I'm pretty sure it was after that session that I was like, maybe I want to learn how to do Reiki. And so I ended up taking Reiki level 1, 2, and 3 from this practitioner. And so, and originally it was just for me, for my own healing. Like, that was all. That's all I wanted at first. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What turned it into, when you find such a love where it becomes a passion?
Where did I find?
When do you feel? Can you look back into your time as a practitioner and feel when it really locked onto you as you knew that this was something that?
Yeah, I think it happened for me gradually with Reiki. Because by then, the time when I started looking into Reiki, I was already obsessed with healing, like just healing modalities, healing myself, helping heal people. Like it was a passion of mine already. So with Reiki, I think because when I took the Reiki level 1 class, it was like with a few people, it was with one of my friends and a few people, like maybe 6 of us or something took the class. And it was such a beautiful experience. And it felt really healing, that I then decided, why not just keep taking the classes? And then I think I had to wait like 6 months and then take the Reiki level 2. And then maybe 6 months or a year later is when I took the third one. And so it just gradually was like, oh, this feels great. Like I'm having these profound experiences of either feeling a lot of peace or like a lot of emotional releases of like crying. Other people, a lot of times it was just hearing other people's feedbacks, and they would say these beautiful, wild things of what was happening that I was like, okay, this is something's happening, right? And then it just gradually, and I think because I already was a massage therapist, a few years before, I was already practicing massage when I ended up learning and taking the classes of Reiki, that it just kind of all just flowed together easily for me. Like, okay, I'm already passionate about massage and helping people heal and feel better, that Reiki just seemed very practical and logical for me in a way to just pursue it and keep doing it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. What other questions do we have? Go ahead.
Well, as you feel what maybe massage has done for your heart, and joy and happiness, and you've felt in your life what Reiki has done for your joy and happiness in your life, which then we can call passion. What does that mean to you? What does it mean to you to find a passion, and how important is that to you in your life? And then what would you say the importance is of other humans finding what they love and what their passion is?
So let's see, how important, so you're asking how important it was for me to find one of my passions, or
what that word means to you, and then
passion. Okay.
What is that importance that you feel that those things carry in your life, and then would you say that that's important for others to find?
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay. So passion to me, so I've been a passionate person, I would say, for many years now. I like a lot of things light me up. And then when I was trying to write my own words on what passion actually meant, I was having a little bit of trouble. That's why I ended up looking at a definition online, right? And right now, when you're asking me that, I would say passion is something, it's when I really enjoy doing an activity. It can be art, it can be Reiki, it can be learning about herbs. And I just have this magnetic pull to learn about them more so. And it lights me up to learn about them, and it feels heart opening. It feels like, whew, like just I'm more open. I feel more joy when I'm doing these things that I'm passionate about. It's like I was born to do this. It's kind of how I would explain it, right? And why is it important for other people? Because I know that we're all born with certain talents and skills, and we're all meant to do certain things. And if we lived in a world where everyone was living from a place of passion, of doing the things that light them up, then this world would be a much happier world, right? And especially when those passions are like in the healing arts, well, you're just having you are helping so many people along the way, while also helping yourself, because you're doing something that already lights you up. Mm-hmm. It's like you're living in alignment with your heart, your path. Yeah,
very much.
Yeah. How about yourself? How would you define passion and how you see it?
I like how you said what lights you up, and that's how I would define that for me, is just what really just fills me up and brings me that big bubble of joy in my belly and my heart. I feel peaceful and free when I'm engaged in what creates that passionate sensation for me. For me, it's like being outside, and not just necessarily outside, because I can certainly find some joy and enlightenment and happiness out there, but being in my own yard, where my husband has created that space, I've created that space, my children create that space with their belongings out and about, and to find myself in a feel-good position, mm-hmm. where it just lights me up is such a good way to say it. I can feel it all throughout my body, and it can be, enjoying the outdoors. It can be watching my children play soccer. Holy cow, if anyone knows me right now, they know that I am just a soccer mom galore, and never would I have thought that I would be at all. But my children love soccer, and so I love soccer, and I do. And there's not much more that brings me such joy than to watch them engaging in what they love to do. And so that I can provide that for them feels really good. And engaging with human beings, that we get to be in a profession. I can be in a profession where my my entire job is to bring peace and health and joy and comfort and a pain-free quality within a human body, or pain-free quality within a human mind, and to watch that happen, to see the impact and the efficacy of what we do in these rooms is just priceless. Absolutely priceless. This is to be here in the office, to be in this space that has been created with so much love and so much joy and happiness, just to be wrapped up in this place, and that I get to do that every day if I'd like to. That's it. Mm-hmm. Watching people, I guess, again, it's like I get to feel these things, but part of what I'm feeling and what is fulfilling to me is watching other people overcome suffering, or overcome what they never thought that they could. I've been dealing with this my entire life. Well, let's see what your body can do. Mm-hmm. And to watch the human form make the choice to heal, to watch the human form shift and change and grow and evolve and build new patterns while breaking down old patterns that no longer serve, mm-hmm. is so joyous. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I feel so incredibly grateful to have segued from my first love of a profession, which was massage therapy and working with people's bodies in that way, to this, where we just get to work on such a profound level, mm-hmm. of change.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I do believe it is important for all of us. Like Maria said, the more that you can feel your joy, the more that you can feel your passion, the more that you can feel and find that happiness in whatever it is. I mean, quite honestly, sometimes it's like driving to Safeway by myself, and I get those moments to just be in the car on my own, listening to what I want to listen to, thinking about what I want to be thinking about, and moving that through, smiling at people while I'm driving down the street, smiling at people at the Safeway, and just trying to convey that, because if we could all live that way, if we could all live doing what we want to be doing, and that would likely then, you would likely choose to impact other human beings for the greater good. And yeah, more of that, please.
Right? Yes,
mm-hmm.
more of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the next question, which fits perfectly where we left off.
Hey.
So over the years, you have treated so many people. Are there any that stand out? Are there any patients who really touched your heart?
Yeah, I have, my gosh, many people who stand out for me. I have a sweet family where they believe they couldn't have a baby. Mm-hmm. And guess what? They're on number 2. And so I think that they hold a really valuable place in my heart for what our human being, this vessel that we're in, is capable of. And I find an affinity for them. I've held great people in their suffering in my heart. Some of those who find their special places in me are those who I know that I'm keeping them comfortable. I know that I'm just making sure that their suffering is at a minimum while they go through the process that they're going to go through, and their body's going to continue to break down, and yet they have a space with me once a week, or maybe twice a week, or sometimes even once a month, where they can come in and get that peace and that sanctuary, and that knowing that their body is doing something, is fighting for them. And so oddly, I don't know if that's oddly, but oddly, it's some of those who are really at a deficit, who put their trust and their faith in me, and I get to remind them that their faith and their trust is actually in their own body. We get to learn that I'm not really doing anything here other than facilitating metal in your body, but your body does these things. When Maria is working on you with Reiki, your body it's rising to the occasion. And I think that it makes me want to cry. It's when a human being's beingness rises to the occasion,
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful thing. Yeah, children hold a deep place in my heart, and of course they do, but because they are so brave. You know, I have needles in my hand, and they come on in. Hey, Jen! And they're nervous at first, and then I get to expose them to this really beautiful medicine and expose them to needles that don't hurt. Mm-hmm. Expose them to the gentleness of this healing and the capabilities of their own body. Mm-hmm. I like kids too.
It's beautiful.
How about you?
Yeah, similar to, so when you were talking about the family that you helped, where they're on their second baby now, and I've told you this story before because you were a part of the story, where my sister couldn't get pregnant with her second baby. And so then I finally convinced her, come get acupuncture and come get Reiki. And so she finally comes in, and she gets the acupuncture treatment from you first. And then right after, she got Reiki from me. And then I also gave her like a little bit of massage on her belly, on her uterus area. And then exactly 1 month later, it's Thanksgiving, and she's missed her period, and she goes and buys like a few pregnancy tests and finds out on Thanksgiving that she's pregnant exactly 1 month. Yeah, which is when they already had been trying for like almost a year, I think, by then. So yeah, that's just a wild and beautiful story, and I loved telling it, you know, because we helped bring my niece into the world, and then and then you know how you were saying about how you've helped a lot of patients where you're you know, their body's doing what it's doing and still breaking down in certain ways, but you're there and you're at least bringing some ease and some comfort and in those moments, right? And that reminded me of with Margaret when, you know, towards the end of her life where she was in a lot of pain, the Reiki that I would give her for the hour, she said it was the time and the place for that hour where she would feel pain-free for that when she was constantly feeling a lot of pain.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I remember being like, wow, like it was like it feels very like, what's the word? Like it's a great honor, like, wow, I can provide this for this person, and like it feels
big.
Yeah, it feels big. I almost have no words to like explain it, but I just remember thinking like, wow, this Reiki's doing this is amazing. Like, right? And like, and her body's doing this, and it's just working out, like giving her some relief. That's great. Yeah. So those two stories really stuck out for me. There's another story where it was a client where in her Reiki session, so I was giving her Reiki, and she ends up like falling asleep, which a lot of people end up falling asleep with Reiki, or at least just closing their eyes and being in a very.
And acupuncture, by the way, and you can fall asleep with needles in you. It happens.
Yes,
all the time.
And so this client, you know, she's asleep during most of the Reiki session. And then afterwards, she gives me this feedback that just blows my mind. And I think it was one of the first clients that really gave me this, it was like huge feedback. She said that her dad that had passed away came and visited her in the room while I was doing Reiki on her and like talked to her. And she was in these had these happy tears. It was a beautiful, positive experience for her. And I was just blown away by that. I'm like, okay. Because there's been many times with Reiki where I may feel my hands get really hot and I feel some energy moving, but there's been many times where I don't get these profound visions or like where I'm like, wow, something really profound's happening. But when I hear the feedback from people, and then it's like, I can't doubt it anymore. Because in the beginning, I was kind of doubting, like, is anything happening? Is Reiki really working through me? Is that possible? But then when story after story, you start being like, okay, something's happening. I'm just moving out of the way. I'm just doing this thing, letting the Reiki flow do its thing with the person. And then, so.
I want to say that we've gone to school to practice these things.
Yeah.
And yet, what we've done is just we've gone to school to hone in and become more aware of these things that we can do. And we're all moving this energy at all times. And I feel like that's what I would want to convey to anybody listening to this right now in this particular topic, that you do this too. And the way that you can recognize these things goes back to that smile I said earlier. When you smile at a human being and they smile back at you, what just happened there is a form of energy exchange that is very incredibly healing. And so what I would offer to you, if you want to impact other human beings in a positive, loving, healing way, start there. If you don't already have the education to do it behind you, if that's something that you want to do, start by smiling at people. It's a very, very simple thing to do. And then I want you to feel the smile. So smile at them. Receive the smile back if you get one. And then feel what just happened between the two of you. And I assure you that that human being left there knowing that you chose to smile at them that day. And sometimes, maybe not every human being, but there are going to be human beings that you do choose to smile at, you do choose to say hello to, or you do choose to offer something kind to them, offer them a kindness. You will impact them and you'll be a bright star in their life for the whole week. They'll come back and think of that moment that beautiful human being chose to smile at them in the moment of despair that they were having or suffering, and you happened to be the light that guided them that day. You have no idea the impact that you have. And so Maria and I have just gotten really good at it. This is something that we enjoy to do, and it's our forms of healing that we offer and impact other human beings with. But it doesn't stop in the office that we practice in. We take that with us everywhere we go, and the more confident that we get in ourselves that we're impacting other human beings in the ways that we are, we know that we're taking it with us. We know that we're walking into a room and changing the energy in it. We know that we're changing the energy when another human being looks in our direction and we offer them that smile. We know that we're changing and impacting lives here when a human being decides to lay under our hands and either receive acupuncture or Reiki or massage. And yet, it doesn't have to be with those physical modalities that we use. At this point in our lives, what we know is that human being walked through the door and engaged with us. And in those moments, we just used what we knew best to change their life and change ours in that very moment.
Beautiful. I love that.
Thanks.
Beautiful.
It came to me while you were talking.
I love it. To add to what you're saying, where you can have these impacts, and they don't even have to be something that takes a lot of your time up, like the smiling, maybe the 10 seconds, 5 seconds of seeing someone at the store or talking to the cashier. Maybe it's like a 20, 30 seconds. It doesn't have to even be, to me at this point in my life, it doesn't feel hard. It feels very doable and easy. And I have an example with so there's a couple that, they're our neighbors. And every time I end up baking something chocolate muffins, whatever, or just baking, I know that they love these sweet treats, especially the chocolate stuff. And so I'll just save a couple muffins, go give them muffins, and they're like, thank you. Especially the lady, she loves it, right? And to me, that's when I'm cooking, I'm pouring my love into it, I'm enjoying it, it's creative. And then that when I get to share it, that brings me joy. And then just, her as well. And so, and what was something else that, for her birthday recently, this neighbor, I ended up just printing out this simple birthday card, wrote some words, and I'm really good at words of affirmation, right? So I just wrote something very heartfelt. And then my boyfriend, Preston, also wrote something in there. And, I give it to her. And a week later, she she said thank you, and she felt very grateful. And she said it's the most beautiful card she's ever gotten, right? And then a week later, she texts me, and she's still thanking me about the card. She said, I read it every day. It's the most beautiful words anyone's ever written in a card for me. And I'm just like, wow, I knew it was something beautiful that I was doing, right? And it felt good. But for her, it meant so much more than I thought it would. So that really felt good. It could just be a simple card that you write for someone, and here you go. It didn't cost me anything. It just a few minutes of writing something down and printing something out. So.
And it's big.
Yeah. So.
It's big.
So yeah. Let's see. Let me see if I have any other questions on here. Oh, okay. Here's a good one. Are there any valuable lessons that acupuncture has taught you over the years?
Don't walk around barefoot. That's not true. Yeah, I would say the biggest, what I've been taught on the grandest scale by acupuncture is what our bodies are capable of, what you are capable of, what you are capable of, what I am capable of. And understanding, it's my largest lessons of understanding that healing absolutely comes within us. It starts right here. No medicine, no needle, no drink, nothing. It's not doing it if it doesn't start here. It's like, they say the vision that's coming to me now is they talk about a lightning strike, and that when lightning strikes the ground, it doesn't hit the ground. Energy comes up from the earth and it meets right above the ground, or right above wherever that lightning is going to strike. And that's how I think of us and our bodies. And that is what acupuncture has absolutely taught me, is that our bodies rise to the occasion. They know exactly what to do. And what we do what I'm doing with you when I'm in a room with you or my patient is that I'm eliciting the human form to do what it does best, which is heal. And I think of all lessons, I would go straight to that. What our human form is capable of.
Mm-hmm. 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 Beautiful.
And that we can do what we love. If you want to get down to it deep, it teaches me it's taught me that I'm worthy of doing what I absolutely love to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the lessons that this has taught me is all about myself. Mm-hmm. And who I am as a human being, what I'm capable as a human being of doing, and how I can impact other human beings so that they're capable of those things too. Mm-hmm. And there's no limits. There's no limits. There's no limits. There's no limits to what we're capable of. And I want to know more. Mm-hmm. I want more lessons. Mm-hmm. How about you?
Yeah, it's a good one to ponder. Valuable lessons. Well, when it comes to Reiki and what it's provided for me, and I think sometimes I forget just because I'm living my life, right? And then Reiki in 2022, or not 2022, 2020, when I was going through that really dark night of the soul, the person I ended up reaching out to was Jane. And I went and got Reiki a couple times a week, at least I was getting Reiki from her. And I swear it saved my life. Because that was the time where I couldn't sleep. I was having nightmares and just so many stressors. in that right after the COVID thing started. And it going to Jane several times within like a few weeks period during that time and getting all that Reiki, it helped me stabilize, I would say, or like ground. It helped me come back to myself, ground. I think it helped. I definitely cried in some sessions, like cried, screamed, got a lot of emotions out. It definitely saved my life, and in that moment of my life. And then by the end of that year is when I took the Karuna Reiki masterclass with Jane, and that like really kind of cemented it, or just like Reiki is so powerful and this beautiful healing modality. So there's that. And then just like, because I've given Reiki to animals, and I've seen animals recover, live for like another year or two after they were really sick and on almost close to death kind of situation. So it's definitely, Reiki has definitely helped deepen my own compassion for myself, animals, people, just from, because it's such a heart opener. And especially that last one, Karuna Reiki Master. Karuna is in the description, and Karuna means compassion, deep compassion. So I think it seems like you practice it long enough and you keep taking the classes, you get rewired from the inside out. Like your heart opens, like, you know, it just does. Like, and so it definitely has, and I don't know if you can say that's a valuable lesson, but that's one of the things that has happened where it's deepened my compassion.
Another thought that came to my mind was learning integrity through medicine, and how to hold integrity in an office space with anyone, right? That might mean knowing where my integrity lies with how I'm going to choose to speak, or how I'm going to choose to listen, maybe how I'm going to treat somebody, maybe not necessarily how I think is best because I'm the practitioner, but how do we truly listen to another human being for what it is that they need? And really fine-tuning that integrity lesson, and how I would want somebody to treat me if I were in the same position, divulging some of the same things or exposing myself in such vulnerable ways. Learning what it means to interact with another human being on such a neutral level that I can allow them to be just as they are. And that's not something I've had a big opinion in my life. It hasn't always been very easy for me to just be in a room with another human being that doesn't have the same opinions as me, or maybe doesn't live the same lifestyle as I do, or take care of themselves in the way that I would think is best. And at a different time in my life, I might have been willing to, cross a line. And that's not even really there. We're crossing lines all the time, but to know how to instill a line, a boundary, and allow a person just complete open neutrality and allowance has been I wouldn't say it's been a hard lesson, but it's taken some time to get there.
It takes mastery to do that. So yeah, I'd say if you've got that down, it does take mastery. It does.
Maybe I should teach that.
It takes mastery.
Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of patients later, it's a fine-tuned skill of being able to be in a room with anyone and not react because they say something that
is off the wall.
Right. Or it's like, whoa, my
Yeah.
God, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do we deal with this now?
Exactly. While you were, for some reason, when you were talking, it just reminded me of, well, you're talking about boundaries, right? And lessons that you've learned. And actually, I do have a big lesson that I've learned with Reiki. And I've come a long way from when I was a full-time massage therapist practicing Reiki. I was overgiving to the max. And I think I had a very unconscious wound that I did not know that I had, or just a wound in the subconscious that I wasn't aware I was operating on. And that wound was, I am not worthy unless I am giving of myself in some way, or if I'm not sacrificing myself in some way. And with that, I remember having a client that now, if that same client would walk in, I'd be like, oh no, she's not an aligned client, not for me, I'm going to refer somewhere else. At that time, I kind of had that savior complex too of like, oh, I can, if they came to me, I'm here to like help save this person or help this person in some way. Not having the insight, like there's so many practitioners out there. There's probably better fits for her out there. Not everyone, and not having the awareness too that not all clients are aligned to each person. And so now with that I learned that hard lesson with this client, that to have that boundary that not all clients I'm not meant to work on all clients. It's just not a right fit. Some clients can be very mentally unhealthy and need to be referred to either a psychologist or a psychiatrist or therapy or something else that's not Reiki. And so that was a tough one for me to learn that lesson. Yeah. But then, but looking back, it's like, wow, like now I feel so good and confident and like, yeah, there's certain people that aren't going to align and it's okay. And don't feel bad. I don't feel bad about it. Back then, I think I was still like, oh my gosh, she needs someone. And what if I'm the only one she reached out to? Like that kind of mentality, right? And in that moment, it ended up hurting me. But then I also learned that lesson from that. So silver lining in that of like knowing and that balance, knowing that balance of like how much to give and to receive, and I don't need to overgive, and I'm worthy just sitting here not giving anything of myself. So all of that, I don't know if you
I have absolutely
dealt with any of that or have any challenges with those lessons.
Sure. I think that when you're a healer, it does not even matter if you're a healer. Let's just face it.
As
no
a
matter
woman,
what, when you get a new
person,
or even as let's say even a new job, you get a new job and you just overdo it. You want to show that you were the right fit and make everybody like you, and so you just overdo it. You really put out more energy than you absolutely need to do. And definitely as a massage therapist, I did that. And thank goodness came to a point where I realized I didn't have to do that anymore. And maybe that helped me a little bit in acupuncture too, but no, because here I am in a new profession and I want to do it just right. And I want to be known as someone who does it right. And it was new to me, and I'm working, not just physical medicine, but internal medicine and mental and emotional aspects and all of these things. And so I think you overdo it to try and cover all your bases, or maybe that's what I told myself. But it was a beautiful, long time coming when I learned that. What do you stop that? You don't have to you don't have to offer so much of yourself. In fact, it's a detriment. It's not just a detriment to you, but it's a detriment to the whole practice, because you're not going to be in your awareness or your clarity. There's going to be a lot of your focus going towards, the self-service that you're not doing. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, thank you for adding to that. Yeah. Let's see. I'm just looking through a couple of my questions. Yeah, I think we've covered most of them. I mean, the last question I have on here is, have you learned important information about yourself during the many years of being an acupuncturist and Reiki master? And we've already been talking about the things we've learned,
summarize.
right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
if you want,
and learned and known so much about I just feel right where I ought to be.
Good.
Right where I ought to be. There's nothing like there's not many diseases or ailments or injuries that I haven't seen. And having been exposed to all of that, each time I'm in an interaction with the patient, there's something that I'm learning about myself. There's always a gold nugget in that interaction that is for me, and I know it. And so I try to stay aware of those things. But I'm 48 years old almost, and I look forward to the next 48 years of continually learning myself through life, through this medicine, through engaging with other human beings. I feel very, very grateful to have landed in something that teaches me something about myself every single day that I'm working. Every day.
I love that. Thank you.
Thank you.
To finish off, final thoughts for me. What I love about Reiki is that, so these days I'm not practicing, I don't have clients that I'm regularly giving Reiki to. The person I'm regularly giving Reiki to is myself. And so I love that Reiki is something that helps nourish me and is something that I give to myself. And it can be just like 5 minutes a day is what I usually will do. Or like when I'm falling asleep and I'm having trouble sleeping, I'm like, okay, let me just give myself Reiki. And then usually it works. I like fall asleep within a few minutes. So I love that it's something I can keep on giving to myself. And sometimes friends will ask for prayer requests, and if I could send them a few minutes of Reiki. So I can also do long distance Reiki where I send them a few minutes. So it's something super valuable that I can still do in that way, right? That I'm still using it and still enriches my life.
Will you touch on that just a little bit before we go?
Long distance Reiki?
I would definitely love for you to hear about this.
Okay, the long distance Reiki. So long distance Reiki, it just means that someone doesn't need to be in the same room as me. Someone could be across town in a different country. And if they request Reiki, or I'm thinking about them and I want to send them Reiki, all I have to do is just call in the Reiki, and then, I'll call in Reiki right now. Reiki on. All I have to say is Reiki on. And I can just send Reiki. Like whoever is watching this on the video, since time really doesn't exist, you can receive this Reiki. And it's pretty incredible. I've had a couple clients that were long distance Reiki clients, and one of them really stands out where she said she could feel it. I would send her like a half hour or an hour. She would have me send some to her boys. This was several years ago, and yeah, it was really beautiful. I just do it from my house, set the prayer, the intention, and send the Reiki. And she said she could feel it just like if she had come in and gotten a Reiki session from me. So it's pretty cool.
I would love to share this Reiki experience.
Yes.
That just came to me. When I was pregnant with my daughter, who just turned 23 yesterday, I was receiving Reiki in the time, throughout my entire pregnancy, I was receiving Reiki medicine. And then in that time, you get bigger and you're feeling your baby, and the baby moves around and does all these fun little acrobatics in your belly. And I would relax incredibly in Reiki. I could get in there, and this belly that was just so full, my whole body could let go, and I could be on this table while this woman was working around me, a very dear friend of mine. Well, guess who was not peaceful? Anytime I laid down on that table to receive Reiki, and maybe from beyond my 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th month, oh boy, Elisa would just start playing around. I could feel her experiencing this medicine within my belly. I was absolutely relaxed, and then this woman would just be over my belly, and she would know it. She would know that Elisa was interacting with her, and she was one of the practitioners that did not touch my skin. Her hands were maybe 1 to 2 inches above my body, and yet that little baby girl in my belly would know where we were at, and she would rise to the occasion and just enjoy the time. Not while Jennifer was anywhere else on my body. She could be at my head, she could be at my feet, she could be at my elbow. Calm. But when she was over that belly in the ending of my session, woo-wee. So
It's beautiful.
very beautiful, very powerful, very powerful. Receive it,
beautiful.
learn to give it. We need more people like you.
Aw. And like you.
I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and we'll be making more in the future.
Thanks for being with us again.
Yes, thank you. And I hope you can take what you need, leave the rest, and blessings.